Hello everyone. Good morning. It's 9:45. I'm TK and this is Coach on the Rocks. Thank you for tuning in. As always, it's Thursday and this is the day before Friday. But as always, I'm sure you're all pretty busy, but maybe this show is a part of your morning routine. So today I wanted to talk about facilitation, something important obviously for L&D professionals, and we've talked to a lot of HR professionals and work with a lot of them and you. And I know that you're using facilitation quite often too. And my fellow coach colleague, Paul, a leadership circle coach like myself, I've tagged him in the this event's, this stream's description, has written on a wonderful article and published it today about the mistakes that a facilitator can make, or the top mistakes. And actually, I wanted to talk about the last of the top mistakes he has mentioned. What he said in his post is, as facilitators, we should be mindful not to put too much in, because it's easy to overload the participants on our workshops, on the sessions we run. And oh boy, haven't we all done that as facilitators? It's an interesting thing because personally, I know, but it is a common mistake. Whenever I see that, it's like, why is this person doing that? Doesn't he or she know that that's just too much? You can't handle that. But it's not a mistake that I've been able to get away from myself. And it's not through, an obvious inability to recognize that I'm putting too much in. It's more to do with two possible circumstances that I want to warn you about. The circumstance number one is they only give you as much time, right? Your wonderful clients, participants, leaders, whoever you work with. And that's a common one for us. And we need to achieve the goal. All right. So our clients come in and say, okay, well, this needs to happen. And we say, yeah, for this to happen, this needs to happen, right? We need to get stuff done. There is a clear outcome. Yeah, but the people will only have like this amount of time, and they can only come for this time, and so on and so forth. So you feel like you need to cram it in. You feel like you need to really twist it to make sure the goal is met. It's an important one that it is met, and I think we've been in these situations before. And I remember one of the clients said, "Oh, right. I don't think you can do it in one single workshop." And I thought, yeah, we can. This was early in our humble associate's career. We did, but I think the experience itself was subpar. Just because we can achieve the goal doesn't mean it should be achieved in this way. And maybe we're just asking too much of people. So now, when this situation comes like that, we're pushing back. I'm pushing back personally too. I'm saying to the clients, look, right? If you want to achieve that, this is the time, resources, and funds you need to spend. I know people don't have time, but you can't have both. Sorry, we have to push back for your own good. And I really mean that. I absolutely mean that because I have the experience of what happens if it's not there. So that's one case and strategy to deal with it. But there's another one I think I want to warn you about, which is you might design a great workshop. I remember, and I'm still really getting poor some consequences because of that. It's a real shame that we've designed a workshop. Looking at this workshop after receiving very poor feedback after months, I thought, well, how did I manage to mess it all up? What's the? I look at this workshop and it's like, well, we've done a great job. We have designed a great workshop. We've ticked all the boxes. We made sure to give enough time for people to really go to do what they needed to. We gave examples. We gave them experiential games and activities. Everything was there. There's a clear logic, which I can still clearly see, even though I stepped away from it. And yet, the workshop was quite a failure. And, with, I would say, consequences to our relationship with our client. Why? And I've been thinking about it for quite a long time. It is essentially because we've been asking too much from the people there. These people just met each other. They were supposed to form into teams. They were supposed to meet their mentors, do certain things. And it was just too much. They were a global bunch from different parts of the world, languages, cultures, all this. It makes sense in a certain context, and it wouldn't be too much. With experienced employees in the company working in these teams, they would have made it short work of it. And yet these people couldn't. It's not their fault. We should have noticed that. We have put too much just because of the participants, and we should have known that they weren't ready for it. I will do my best not to make this mistake again. As in life, sometimes you need to learn on mistakes, but it might be better if you learn on mine. So, with that, read Paul's post, and if you're interested, I'd love to know your experiences. Drop me a comment here or send me a message. I'm always up for a chat, as they say, right? And we can talk about the further context when it happened. With that, all the best for Thursday, and I will see you again tomorrow for the next episode of Coach on the Rocks. Bye bye.